What is going on, guys? It's the Inside the Blue Podcast, episode 64. And today we're talking about the New York Yankees and Juan Soto. Trades kind of, not moving in the right direction. The Yankees and Padres have stalled trade talks right now. And, the Padres are asking for a lot, right? This is Juan Soto. This is a guy they want to get a lot back because they know he's probably not in the future plans because the Padres don't have a lot of money. They're taking, loans to, pay their players because they spent a lot in free agency and, they spent a lot on, Xander Bogaerts and, giving Tatis a big contract and all these guys. And, I don't know if the Padres are trending in the right direction. I think they spent a lot of money. They didn't realize how much they were actually spending. So now they're kind of going to have to deal Juan Soto. And they want the best offer, right? I know the Yankees have been the most aggressive team that wants Juan Soto, but there are more teams to this that are interested in Juan Soto. And that's, the Blue Jays. They're in on Juan Soto and a few other teams. But I think the Yankees have the players that the Padres want the most because the Yankees have, started building up a farm system, and the problem is with the Yankees though is they're very reluctant on their prospects. Look at some of the guys that they have kept for too long, where they could have traded them a lot earlier, like a guy like Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar, Devi Garcia. They definitely could have maybe gotten, better players if they just traded him away. But I think this is another, problem with Brian Cashman is he tends to hold on to his players too long, and before you know it, the value is at rock bottom. And this is another opportunity to get a really good player. You don't get the opportunity every day to trade for a guy like Juan Soto. Juan Soto is one of the best players in baseball, and he's only 25. I think that's the craziest thing about, this trade is that he's only 25, and you can lock him up for a lot of years and, go on a World Series push. The Yankees have not made it to the World Series since '09, where they beat the Philadelphia Phillies. They have not reached the World Series. They've gone to the ALCS, but they've, ran into the Houston Astros, and they have not been able to go, get past the Astros, and that's been the problem. And I think Juan Soto's a guy that can definitely help their chances win in a ALCS against the Astros. But now it's kind of the Texas Rangers AL now. I know the Houston Astros are a very good team, and they have been in the World Series many times, and they've kind of ran the AL, and now I think it's up for grabs. I think the Yankees can be a team that can get back into those sweepstakes of, getting back to the World Series. Because I honestly think this. I think the AL is really the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers are your two top teams. I don't think there's another team in the AL that really is as good as them. And I think as in terms of talent, I think the Yankees are right there, and they just need another piece to this team, and I think that's Juan Soto, easily. Juan Soto is so damn good, and I don't think people understand how good this player is. And I'm tired of hearing people say, oh, let's wait a year, let's wait a year. If you wait, another team is going to budge, and they're going to give an offer, and if the Padres like that deal, you just missed out on Juan Soto. And now your team is screwed, right? You've missed out on Bryce Harper. You've missed out on Corey Seager. You've missed out on Shohei. You've missed out on a lot of top talent. And, that is to blame Brian Cashman. And this is not a rant on Brian Cashman, but he hasn't done his job, right? He hasn't been to the World Series since '09. And this is a player that you cannot pass up on. And you're going to have to give up a lot, right? Juan Soto is a guy that you're not only going to give up, a major league player and two prospects. Like, they're going to ask for a lot. And, rightfully so, that their offer should be a lot. I think if I was in the Padres position, I would want to get everything I can for Juan Soto because of just how good of a player he is. Juan Soto is easily a top 10 baseball player in this league, and he's one of the best lefty hitters in this league. I honestly think that comes to mind. The only player I think that is really better than him is Shohei Ohtani, and that's really it. I mean, there's probably maybe another player that comes to mind, in other people's heads, but for me, I think it's really only him and Shohei, in my opinion. I think most of the dominant, players in this league are right-handed bats. I think the only other guy you could really make a case for is Freddie Freeman, for left-hander. I think this league is, the best hitters, in my opinion, are really right-handed. Judge, Betts, a bunch of guys like that. Ronald Acuna. But I think this Yankee team needs quality lefties. I think we understand that. We've invested in some lefties like Andrew Benintendi or Billy McKinney, just not good enough. And Juan Soto is that guy that you could plot in the lineup, and he could probably hit, honestly, 30 plus home runs in Yankee Stadium. He hit one off you this year. I think it was against Randy Vasquez, or it was against someone. But, upper deck shot. And honestly, it didn't even look like Soto put all his, power into it. I think he's just a player that if you put in this lineup, it instantly makes you one of the top contenders for the World Series. You already have one of the best bullpens in baseball, and if you can land Yoshimbu Yamamoto, that makes you have probably the best 1-2 punch in the league. I think the only team I could really think of is the Rangers with DeGrom and Scherzer, but we don't know with DeGrom's health. We don't know if he's ever going to really play like a lot of games. I think he's kind of a pitcher now that he doesn't give you those innings like he used to back, in his early days with the New York Mets. But this is a guy that can thrive. I think the big thing is he's in a contract year. He's got 1 year left on his contract. So he's going to have even more motivation to play really solid baseball. And, another guy that was kind of in that situation was Aaron Judge. I mean, he bet on himself, and now he's making $40 million a year. So I don't think Soto is going to get $40 million if the Yankees land him. I think he's going to get more like 33, 30, 35 million, which is still a lot. And then you question, what do you do with Giancarlo Stanton, right? What is, his future with the Yankees if this is another down year for Giancarlo Stanton? Because really, ever since he came here, like his first year with the Yankees, I don't think he's really been that guy that Yankee fans and Brian Cashman were hoping for. He came off an NL MVP, and ever since then, hasn't stayed healthy. His body is not in baseball shape. I think his body is just not built for baseball, right? His speed is getting slower every single year. I felt like this was the worst Stanton in terms of speed we got. He's questionable in the outfield, and nobody saw this coming, right? Nobody said, oh, yeah, Stanton's going to just come to the Yankees and he's just going to suck. I don't really think anybody said that. Maybe if they just hated the Yankees, but I don't think teams really, well, not teams, I don't think fans really thought that. I thought you got a guy like Stanton who wanted to bring a championship to the New York Yankees, and listen, he's in for a big year because if he stinks again, he probably will just get released by the Yankees and probably picked up by like the Dodgers or some team like that. But another big thing is Soto stayed healthy last year. Health has been a main concern for this Yankee squad. Stanton with his hamstring problems, Judge with his toe last year, LeMahieu with his toe, Nestor with I think it was his shoulder. A lot of injuries for this Yankee squad, and they've changed. It's a question mark to the training staff. What are they doing? The Yankees have not been able to figure that out. To keep this team healthy, because they had the Rizzo incident where they checked up with him, I think, too late, and it got a lot worse, and he wasn't able to see the ball or really do anything, and he was destroying the baseball. Like, I think at a point he may have been batting close to 300, and then his average just kept dipping and dipping, and I think it went a while until he hit a home run. And I think that was against the Royals he hit that home run. Like, I think it was maybe a few months that we didn't see a Rizzo bomb. And listen, I'm expecting a solid year out of Rizzo if he can stay healthy and, his head is, okay. Because that was a scary neck injury he had. The Yankees and the Padres trades have stalled, so we will see what will happen there. But they're still going to push buttons. I think the Yankees are still going to be in contact with the Padres. I think the Padres are going to look at all other offers right now and see what the Blue Jays are trying to do. Even though I don't really know what the Blue Jays have to give to Juan Soto. I also saw some. I think if they went for Shohei, then they would have to move Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. So that would be really interesting if they got Shohei. But another report. This is in terms of the trade. So per Andy Martino, King, Thorpe, Brito, Vasquez, and one or two other prospects and cash is too much for Soto, Yankees believe. Yankees are not properly valuing Soto yet, Padres believe. So, yeah, I mean, they're far apart. It's not like this deal is going to get done in the next, 1 to 2 days. I think it's really going to take a while. And I think if they do strike a deal, it's not going to be until mid-December or something like that. There's also another report, I think from also Andy Martino. I didn't write it down. But it says a deal centered around Schmidt, Clark Schmidt, Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, and Drew Thorpe can get the Yankees closer to acquiring Soto. The big name there is Drew Thorpe. Yankees have been reluctant of dealing King and Thorpe. King coming off a good year. He's been a good reliever for this team, and when I made him a starter, he did really well. And Drew Thorpe is coming off minor league pitcher of the year. So once again, Cashman holding on to his prospects. Well, Drew Thorpe is a prospect. Obviously, King is not. And for the Yankees in this Juan Soto trade, I think there's 6 guys. 6 guys. I may be missing out on some. It might be a few more, but your untouchable players are Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Jason Dominguez, Gleyber Torres, Clay Holmes, and Anthony Volpe. I think anybody else in that lineup currently, you can give away for Juan Soto. Because those 6 players, that is kind of your core, right? Oh, and also I don't really want to give up Austin Wells, and I don't think the Padres were asking for him anyways. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean it's a big risk too because Juan Soto has said that well, at least I'm pretty sure on this, if he does go to any team, if it's not the Yankees, after that 1-year deal, he's going to test free agency. So, and that's why, I'm getting a lot of questions about with Yankee fans is, why, why are the Yankees not going and getting Soto and just waiting a year? Well, like I said earlier in the pod, they got to get him now. They got to get him now, and they got to get him locked up before you wait too long and he's on a different team, and they already extended him, and they lose out on him. I think Soto needs to be a Yankee before opening day, obviously, and before spring training. And think of a lineup like this, assuming they get Soto. So you're and fully healthy as well, opening day roster against whoever you play opening day. Leading off, Anthony Volpe at shortstop, Aaron Judge in right field, Juan Soto in left, Anthony Rizzo at first, Gleyber Torres at second, Giancarlo Stanton on the DH, Jason Dominguez in center field. Obviously, Dominguez is still recovering, so they're going to have to put out a center fielder. I don't know who that's going to be, but that's probably going to be Oscar Gonzalez. They just picked him up. So he'll probably bat there until Dominguez comes back, or they sign a guy like Kevin Kiermaier. But I could see them just getting Oscar Gonzalez and plotting him in. Austin Wells behind the plate, and then LeMahieu batting ninth. Now, everything can change because, if Volpe doesn't, hit well at leadoff because he struggled last year and Boone put him there, or you switch Judge and Soto. I got a few things about that. Batting Soto first so he gets on and then Judge can drive him in. Now, I don't hate that idea at all. I think both players are really good, and I think we either bat Soto second or Judge second. It strikes fears into, the other team's, pitching, It's either you're playing, the former MVP or you're playing a guy who finished sixth in the MVP and who just came off an amazing season. 35 bombs, 162 games played. He was walking, I think, 81% because there was 132 games that he had a walk in 162. You do the math, it was like 81.4%, I think. And then for my dream rotation, Garrett Cole, Yoshimbu Yamamoto, Nestor Cortez, Rodon, and then Michael Wacha as our number 5. The only problem I might have with Michael Wacha is he might want too much money, but I'm not sure about that because he just declined it. They just declined his. I think the Padres just declined his offer, but he went 14-4, 3.22 ERA, and 134 innings pitched. Like I said, he might want too much money, so they might have to go with a cheaper route. But if they, are able to fit him in, I think he's a good pitcher, and he could be a good number 5 pitcher. Because I think Randy might be gone, who, in my opinion, I would not mind being the number 5, but I think he's going to be on the Soto deal. But yeah, this team could be very scary with Juan Soto, and I'm telling you that right now. If they make this deal happen, just making sure, I've been checking Twitter all the time because anything with Juan Soto, I'm checking, and I will report that to you guys, of course. Of course, Fernando Tatis Jr. wants Soto to stay because it could be something special, but I don't think he, understands really. But yeah, it's definitely crazy that we have the opportunity to get him. But it's gonna, I think that's the other problem that I haven't touched on yet. Is Michael King's great and all. He had a good year with us. He's amazing. Drew Thorpe, amazing year in the minor leagues. You're going to have to give up good players to get great players. Michael King's amazing, and he's gotten us out of a lot of jams. He's a really good pitcher. But I think the main thing why this Yankees team has not been able to get over the ALCS hump was because they didn't have the bats to do it. Right? I think pitching has not been the problem. It's been hitting in Houston. They aren't able to hit in Houston, and they can't hit when it matters. Last year there were times where this team was going to maybe get no hit multiple games. There were multiple games where they wouldn't get hits until the 6th, 7th inning, and that cannot happen. They should be getting hits right out of the gate and playing good baseball right out of the gate. But anyways, of course, I appreciate you guys all. Check out the mock draft we had for the Giants. Definitely check that one out. I thought, that's a pretty cool video. Definitely going to have more mock drafts for the Giants. Going to be recapping the Rangers next. And this was a Yankees episode. I appreciate you guys all. Of course, on the road to 100 subs before the end of the year. And I'll see you guys next time. And hopefully the next video is us breaking down the Juan Soto to the Yankees trade. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.